We are back in the best we've ever been. Welcome to another episode of Guardians Don't Mess It Up. I'm Brent, here with my father, Tim.
Hello.
And my brother, Zian. We're coming to you from Teal Panda Studios here in central New York amidst the heat wave of 2022. Kind of cooled off a little today, though. It's been a minute since we put out a show, but today we're going to do a bit of recapping and future predicting. So we're going to put on our what's her name? Miss Chloe hats.
We got to sit down in our thinking chair.
Who's Miss Chloe?
That lady that used to take phone calls and tell you your future.
Oh.
Remember that?
No.
I don't remember that.
Call collect? Call collect.
No.
Yeah, no,
That's
you
so
don't.
weird. What kind of phone calls were you making when you were a kid?
I mean, I was like 4.
I'm a horrible parent.
Anyway, so we're going to go over the month of July up to this point. We'll hit on some all-star stuff, and we'll give you our take on the next week leading up to the MLB trade deadline. If you like trade rumors, you come to the right place. We here at CDMU are extremely reliable sources and will never release...
CDMU? Wait. CDMU? Wow, that's a catch.
You like that?
I like that.
Got to shorten it up.
Well done, CDMU.
Anyway,
CDMU, people.
We here at CDMU are extremely reliable sources and would never release unfounded information. Keep that in mind. So sit tight, buckle in, and get ready. This should be a good one.
I want to express my pleasure in coming back to Cleveland. Tonight in Cleveland, I am happy through this great audience of my old friends to give this message to America.
So anyways, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So, I'm going to jump right in here. We have a lot to cover. We've missed like 6 months of show. I don't even know the last time we recorded anything. I don't know. I can't tell.
We
I don't even know what day it is.
we were good, and then we were bad, and then we were good again, and then we got bad again.
And then we were kind of like even, and now
We're back, baby.
Yeah.
No,
Back.
we're still bad again.
Oh. Well, we're in rain delay right now.
Yeah.
So, as we speak, they're playing Boston. They're down 1-0. They hit a rain delay. So we're looking at another doubleheader.
Love
What
to
is that?
see it.
The 16th doubleheader?
I think
of
we're
the
going to set a Major League Baseball record.
I think we already have.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Anyway, so the month of July has been a rough one so far. 9-12.
Yep.
Heading into the last few days of the month here, and we've got 4 games against Boston,
Yeah.
including today.
Boston, who's been the worst team in baseball, since the All-Star break.
So that would be that'd be nice. And then we have, I think, Tampa for 3.
Yeah, but it could be really bad.
Could be.
If
could
we
be.
lose to these teams, that's bad.
That could be. Yeah, that could definitely dictate or change the front office direction for the trade deadline. Anyway, so 9-12 in the month of July so far. Right now, as it sits, we are 3 games back in the division, 2 games back in the wild card. That's not bad. We got to stay within 5.
Still in it.
know.
We're still in it.
We got to stay within 5 so we can win the division. I'm not saying we will win the division. I'm saying we can. There is an opportunity.
Right.
The door is still open.
I mean, we could also trade for Juan Soto.
Well, now
There's an opportunity.
hold your horses there, big bucko. Just hold off on that. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let's talk about some of the good and the bad that's been we've been dealing with this month. I got to start here because I talk trash about him all the time, and it's not unfounded, but still, I got to give credit where credit is due. Ahmed Rosario, the month of July, is hitting 329, 378 on base, nice little 878 OPS. Good for him. That's great. I'm so glad he's playing well leading up to the trade deadline.
Yeah, he feels it. He could go help a baseball team.
That works for me. I'm okay. You know, a lot of people online are like, why would you change a good thing? Why would you change a good thing? He's a great clubhouse guy, and he's playing out of his mind. I get it. I understand completely.
Well, he doesn't help us win this year, no matter if we keep him or get rid of him.
He is not a guy who is going to help us win a World Series. He's not. He's not that guy.
It's tough to trade him, though.
It is.
Think
Yeah.
about it. He's
No, everybody loves him.
A bunch of money.
Nope.
All right, he gets hot seemingly at the right times.
Yep.
Like when we need him.
Just
He's a
when
streaky-
everybody's
listen,
tired of him,
last
he gets
year,
hot.
He's repeating last year. Like,
Right.
The
so this
second
is
half
2
was
years in a row.
insane.
So are you seeing, like, this is Ahmed Rosario? Like, this is
Sure,
his,
and if that's the
'cause if
case,
his
that's great for
career-
him. Yeah.
If his career numbers are what he's done the last 2 years, that is a really nice
That's
career.
fantastic.
Like, he's going to be a solid player.
But the
Right.
problem is,
Now, he's not going to be a starting shortstop
No.
forever, I can tell you that. But he's going to play somewhere because he can hit.
we
He
have
can run the bases, and he's,
he
we have 5 middle infielders.
Right.
yeah.
and
yeah.
he's probably not number 1 or 2 or 3.
No, listen, I'm
or
not even
4.
saying let's face it, the odds are he doesn't finish his career with the Guardians.
No,
But
he may finish this season with them.
he's really tight with Jose.
Yep.
Him and Jose are
That's
obviously
apparent.
they sit together every game.
They
They're
do.
talking all the time. They're obviously good friends. So clearly, if you're going to move him, right, at the level he's playing at, you better get something for him. Like you better get a piece.
I'm
of
not
something for
sure.
him.
I'm not sure if you're looking to get much for him. You're looking to get something
Oh
for
no,
him.
no,
Maybe
no. Listen to what I'm just saying.
I think it more so
No.
a trade for Ahmed Rosario would more so be clearing up space because they're ready to bring somebody else in.
Dude, you're talking about a guy who goes on streaks of 30 games at a time hitting 350,
Yeah,
okay? For the season's going to hit probably over 280.
probably.
Yeah.
He's on base.
Unless he just completely falls
His
apart.
on base is always solid.
Decent.
Nah, it's not that
It's-
good. It's about the same
okay.
as the batting average. He
And-
doesn't walk.
And he's best friends with your best player.
That definitely helps.
If
his
you're
case.
going to move that guy off of your team, you better get something.
I mean,
I don't
You
think-
better get something. Because
I don't know if there's anything to get.
Because the only way his best friend is still happy after you trade him is if you have a shot to win a World Series.
Jose's been
Right.
around long enough to see us get rid of his friend.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean
Yeah,
he's
but you don't-
happy about
Uribe
it.
was his literal father.
It was
Yeah,
his
but
dad.
Juan
Got
Uribe
rid
was,
of him.
Juan Uribe was 45 years old.
Yeah.
Everyone knew he had to go.
He
Even
was friends
Jose.
with Edwin.
This-
We got rid of Edwin.
Rosario's not a,
Santana.
Rosario's playing at a high level, and he's my buddy. He's helping us win. So why would you get rid of my buddy? And he's not an old guy.
And I think the answer to
What is
that
he?
is
26.
Yeah, something like that.
I think the answer to that is why would you get rid of a guy like Ahmed Rosario in a position that you're in right now? A, because this could potentially be the only type of trade value he ever has again in his career. Because we don't know. I mean, you can put together 2 good years, but we don't know if he's going to continue that. This could be
Right.
his highest trade value
Right.
he ever has.
Right.
So you don't want to get rid of him for nothing.
Okay, again-
And also, you're not going to move him if you don't think someone can step in and fill that role.
Right.
So I get that.
I'm going to go back to the dynamic again. This is not Albert Bell. The entire team hates him, so go ahead and move him when he's playing great. We're not talking about the same scenario here. This is Ahmed Rosario playing at a high level. You're starting shortstop, best friends with your best player.
but it doesn't.
But he's also not part of the future
Yeah,
plans.
none of this matters. He's not going to be the shortstop next year.
Understood. But again, if you're going to move him, better get something.
No, but
Like
that's what
you need to get something that you can walk down to the locker room and tell Jose the reason we moved your boy was because the guy coming in is going to help us go to the World Series.
So
we don't make trades like that.
Well, your preference would be
You have to.
Your
for-
preference would
for
be
Rosario.
to
We've never
put
made trades
Rosario
like
in
that.
a package for a big bat or a big arm.
Something. It better
Something.
be something that
I
brings
could see it.
that Jose goes, oh yeah, like you couldn't pass that up.
I could see it.
Like you had to trade my boy because you couldn't pass this guy up.
Right.
That's what you got to do right here.
I get that.
You got to be careful with trading
Yeah.
Rosario.
It's just
Now
the problem
Fran Mill, or anybody else on the team, you probably don't have to think about that.
Have you noticed that Framo doesn't really hang out with people in the
I
clubhouse
have
anymore?
noticed that. Yeah, he's
He was-
kind of a
he may
he's
be on
kind
the
of a
trade
loner
block.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, he may be on the.
But
trade
anyway,
block.
so let's hop back into this. We'll get back into the trade talk in a minute.
All
So yeah, Ahmed Rosario's playing out of his mind right now. Whatever they decide to do with him, I'm sure will be fine because you can get something for him right now. But
it can't
if
just
you
be
don't,
anything.
right? But if
I
you
can tell
don't,
you that.
if you don't, he's probably just going to keep playing well. So that's good. Josh Naylor, month of July, 346, 375 on base, 971 OPS. He is tearing the cover off the ball.
And him and Jose both have a shot at driving in over 100 RBIs.
Josh
Well,
Naylor.
I don't think Naylor has a shot anymore.
He's at 51.
I think
but
he's
we're
on
past the All-Star
pace.
break.
So what?
That means there's less than half the season left.
Dude, he's streaky.
I want to say he's on pace for 93.
He's streaky.
He's right up there.
He's streaky, and he's hitting in the 4 spot.
Yeah.
But he may have found himself. Like, this might be who Josh Naylor is.
I hope so.
He's got plenty of Major League at-bats now.
Yeah, gotta stay
So,
healthy.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Andres Jimenez, 377 on base. He hasn't hit particularly well in the month of July, but he's still getting on base. He has accounted for 17 runs.
In this
Whether
month.
it's runs he has scored or runs he's driven in, he's accounted for 17 just alone in the month of July.
Yeah.
So, and he's also been hit by a pitch 5 times.
But listen, he's still
in
hitting
1
306 and 348 in the last 50.
So that tells you, even
So
though
he's
even
still
though he
hitting.
was kind of struggling a little this month, he's still hitting well enough that he's gonna be fine. He'll be able to turn this
Yeah,
around.
man.
And it's not like
all
he's
right.
hitting bad. He's
playing great defense.
playing
Imagine
phenomenal
what he'll
defense.
hit when he moves to short after we trade Ahmed.
Right.
Better trade on my
His
good.
his behind the back flip in the All-Star game,
Fantastic.
beautiful.
One play of the week or whatever.
Way
or
to
month.
represent
Something.
Cleveland. That was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he showed the world why
Making
he's
a
not
name
a
for
second
himself
baseman. He
now.
showed the world why he should be our everyday starter.
Now,
Yeah,
don't
because-
get me wrong.
Because Tim Anderson goes and throws that ball away.
Exactly. Tim Anderson's playing shortstop in the All-Star game like he doesn't make 3 errors a game.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I am going to bring some honesty to the show right now. A year ago this time, we were talking about trading Jimenez.
He couldn't hit.
He was
I know that.
he was in AAA.
I know that. He was very young. He couldn't hit. We were like, oh, God, the Lindor trade. Now we got 2 guys who both their numbers are better than Lindor.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we won that trade.
Well,
Still,
wait a
we still
minute.
won that trade. I don't care how much press Lindor gets. We still won that trade.
But there's a lot of middle infielders with better numbers than Francisco Lindor right
That's
now.
right. That's what I'm saying. We
we
won
have
that trade. We got
the-
2 guys
we have
playing
two
in a row.
The 2 guys that came over
Playing-
in that deal are both outplaying Lindor.
Because when that trade got pulled off, we all went, oh. We all went, oh, look what we're getting. Oh, no.
Well, Ahmed
now
was
we got
considered,
2 guys playing better than Lindor.
Ahmed was considered like a washed-up top prospect, and Jimenez had
He's
had
turned-
a lot
he's
of
turned
major
that
league
around, by
at-bats.
the way.
Ahmed needed new scenery.
Ahmed's turned that around.
Yeah, he needed new scenery. There's no
In
doubt
fact, I
about
wouldn't
that.
be surprised if we don't trade him that Ahmed re-sign with.
No, he's
I-
because he can't play the
it's
middle
hard to
infield
say.
for us.
If he
I think
could,
he knows that. I
if
think
he could
understands
But he
be-
can't play the outfield also.
if he
There
could
won't be space.
our utility man, I would welcome him back with open arms.
I think,
But right now, I don't know. For some reason, I don't know if it's him or if it's the front office. They refuse to take him off short.
what I think is someone's going to be smart enough to move Ahmed to second base
I don't know if he can do it.
for a good team, and he could definitely pull off second, and he could run the bases. He doesn't have to be your number 2 hitter like he is for us.
No,
You
on a
you could-
serious championship team, he
You could
probably
drop
hits
him
7.
down in the lineup. He's still going to produce. He could play a great second base. He can still.
He can't play a great second base.
He
but
could. He could. I think he'd be a really good second baseman. His height, his length, he's not a small
Second
guy,
baseman,
and he can move.
a second baseman like Andres Jimenez is not a typical second baseman. He gloves everything, right?
Yeah.
So at second base, you have time to knock a ball down. If Rosario could figure out how to play that way, I think he'd be fine. I think he'd be a great second baseman.
Yep, I think he could do it.
And he's an aggressive guy
And he's
to begin
athletic.
with. Yeah, he could do it. I mean, it would take some time, but obviously he has no innings at second base,
Right.
so it's going to take a whole offseason, spring training, and half a regular season.
I say bulk him up, make him a first base.
I say bulk him up and make him a DH and let him hit 40 bombs a year.
Yeah, and I think if Cleveland's going to move,
we need someone because Framo can't hit.
if Cleveland's going to move him, I think you could sell him.
Yeah, potentially. And there's a lot of people that need middle infield help right now.
Absolutely,
He honestly,
he'd be a
there's
great pickup for.
there
a
are
lot of
so many
teams.
teams that need a shortstop right now.
But you better
The
ready to give
Yankees.
somebody up.
The Yankees definitely are one of them.
But you better ready to give somebody up.
yeah,
say
that's
that.
true. That's true.
'Cause he's produced for
Framo,
2 years now.
Framo Reyes in the month of July. I didn't write down numbers because I tried to find something good, and I couldn't.
He had a home run yesterday.
He has 4 home runs this month, and I don't even think that matters. How he looked like he was turning a corner, but then you look at the numbers, he's not.
Yeah.
He may just be making better contact. I think that might be the only redeeming quality. Basically, in my notes, I have he's a big body DH that is giving you virtually 0 slug. So he has no value right now. But you almost have to move him based on the premise that he could be something. He's just wasting space right now.
Here's the problem with Franmil. Right?
I don't think we have time to allow him to turn it around.
Here's the problem with Franmil.
Well, we have the time, but we don't have.
Yeah, but that's if we're not in the hunt for the division or a wild card.
We don't
this
have
year.
a reason to give him time to turn out.
Right. Exactly.
Here's the problem with Franmil. Franmil
We're not in last place.
is a guy that everyone loves.
Yes, and I love Franmil.
Everybody loves Franmil. He's a great guy. Everyone loves him. The problem is this year, in the last 15 games, he's hit 236.
Which is
and that's
better.
like his best.
That is better.
That's his
a
best
positive
streak.
sign.
That's his best 15 games of the season.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not good. Plus the injury. I don't know if he's completely healthy still. I think he came back because he's worried about his job. I think there's a lot going on.
That's never a good sign.
No.
That's going to keep him injured.
When you play on the youngest team in Major League Baseball and you're not producing,
Well, that's
those
next man up.
thoughts have to come into your head right away. Like,
Well, he saw
I'm in trouble.
So far he has seen.
It's a tough one, man.
He has seen Stephen Kwan come up and
produce.
pretty much turn the team around.
Stephen Kwan, by the way,
Gonzalez came up
produced.
and he saw his replacement.
Yeah.
Nolan Jones.
So
Came
Nolan
up,
Jones came up.
produced.
He hasn't even played with Nolan Jones yet.
Who else came up and produced?
Palacios.
Palacios comes up,
comes
produced.
Pretty good.
Comes up, has 2 game-winning hits
All of them
As a
produced
pinch
more.
hitter.
as a pinch hitter.
All of them produced better than Franmil.
Yeah.
So the
he's
writing's
pressing.
on the wall.
Yeah, he's
the writing's
pressing.
on the wall. Like, am I going to get cut? Am I going to get traded? What's happening? Like, I don't know. I don't know how you play through that. I really don't.
You kind of so the way that I'm looking at it is, I wish Franmil would turn this around quick because I want him to be our full-time DH because you know what he's capable of.
But I don't know if he's capable of more than people we can put in the DH role.
No,
right
and
now.
that's exactly what I was going to say because we have guys coming up through. A Will Benson, who's 6'6", 250, runs like a deer, has the potential to hit 30 home runs. So this is the thing. Will Benson is not a power hitter, but right now
Listen,
he has just as much potential to hit 30 home runs as Franmil
Yeah,
does.
but Will Benson's an everyday outfielder, like all day long. He's one of our best outfielders we got.
He probably platoons in center with Straw.
Yeah,
and I am getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I think he's going to get moved.
It's going to be Naylor or Gonzalez.
I think.
It's
Well,
not
I'm
gonna
just
be
making.
Benson.
But Gonzalez
I'm just
plays
making
a
the
decent
comparison.
Right field.
Yeah, but he's no Benson.
No,
But
no.
I would say Jones would DH because Oscar Gonzalez is a career outfielder.
Whatever. Then Jones.
I would
DH.
like to see. I'd like to see Jones take over. At
I
first
think
base.
Naylor's your
Let
DH.
Naylor be your full-time.
I think
DH.
Naylor's because Naylor's not a great first baseman.
No,
and
not by any means.
And you can tell he's not physically capable of running. And listen, I love Josh Naylor,
dude.
but right now he looks like Babe Ruth. Physically,
He
looks
is.
like Babe Ruth.
He's struggling.
I saw
That's not a good look in modern baseball.
I
It's
saw
not
a
a good
clip
look.
of him against Garrett Cole, and then I saw it like side by side with
Yeah.
a clip of him now. I was like, oh my god,
Yes,
It doesn't look good.
it looks like 50 pounds heavier.
he is. He's heavy, and I think part of it is that leg. I think physically, I don't think he's capable of running. I mean, we've all seen him run the bases.
He struggles.
it's
He
not
struggles
okay.
to leg out a double.
not
You
okay.
can see the pain on his face
Yeah.
when he's running. That's not. There's nothing good that can come from that.
No. So I think he's clearly a DH.
Keep him off his feet.
Yeah, keep him off the field as much as possible. I think he's
Because
clearly,
right now, aside from Jose, he's your best bat.
yes.
Like he's the guy that can carry you late in game.
I don't know if he's your best
Well,
bat,
Jimenez
but he's a guy. He's a
could do it.
threat. He's a threat to drive in runs. He's a threat to hit home runs. He's a threat to hit doubles. He's a slugger.
Oh yeah.
You know
There's no doubt
that's
about
that's
that.
what makes him so dangerous at the fore for us. It's just we don't have enough of those guys right now.
Speaking of not having enough of those guys, our pitching staff.
Oh God.
boy.
I keep thinking, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do a little segment on pitching, but I hate pitching.
Yeah.
Like by nature, I'm a hitter. I don't care about pitching.
Okay, listen, I will say this.
So I got nothing as far as that
this
goes.
Bieber this year, his velocity and his spin rate being down
by like a good
by a lot.
chunk.
by a lot
And it's
is-
noticeable.
is concerning because he's giving up more hits. He's giving up more home runs. He's giving up more runs, period.
But, you know,
and
I gotta
he's
say
not
this, though.
striking people out at
I
a high
don't
level.
think he's not giving up more home runs. He's giving up more early home
Yes.
runs.
So now we come off a season last year where he's injured, misses the whole second half of the season. This year he comes out, he's not the same pitcher,
But we saw in spring training that he wasn't the same pitcher.
Right.
Yeah.
We saw signs of it.
and it has not.
And then we justified it by saying, "Oh, it's just
Spring
a spring.
training.
Yeah,
He'll
spring
come around.
training,
He'll come
right.
around."
Now it hasn't come around.
No.
His velocity is still down. His spin rate is still down. At what point do you go back to the drawing board with Bieber and say, okay, we got to get down to the nitty gritty of
What's
why
wrong? Yeah.
this is happening? Why is your spin rate down? Why is your velocity down? Are you hurt?
Well, pitchers
Are
have such
you-
an
what
easy
is
excuse
happening?
right now, though.
He's
They can
not-
just say, "Oh, baseballs. Oh,
Right.
it's the
Of
baseballs."
course, yeah.
They can't because other pitchers are not having that same problem.
No, early in the year, pitchers had that problem.
Evidently-
Spin rate
evidently-
has been down.
Evidently, almost 40-year-old Justin Verlander is not
No,
having
he's
that
not
problem
having
with
that.
spin
Yeah, but-
rate.
Justin Verlander is
He's
different.
kind of an outlier.
Bieber won
In
a
He's a
Cy
Hall of
every
Young.
Fame,
sense.
but he's a Hall of Famer.
Bieber won a Cy Young.
That
and
wasn't
now
a
his
fluky
spin
Cy
rate.
Young.
Yeah. Okay. So, no, I'm sorry. You have to figure out what the problem is. Is it you just can't pitch with this new ball, or are you hurt, or what is happening? Because what's going on with his pitching is not okay. He's a Cy Young Award winner. Justin Verlander came off a year out of baseball
With Tommy
at 40
John,
years
yeah,
old,
at 40
and
years
now
old.
his spin rate is fine.
I
That's not okay.
jokingly have always said I think Tristan McKenzie is our best pitcher, but this year he is
It
literally
turns
our
out-
best pitcher.
He
Turns
is.
out you were right.
yeah,
And now listen, but here's the thing: his velocity is okay.
yeah, it's like
Well,
It's what it always was.
94-ish, 95-ish,
His velocity,
a little lower.
his velocity
sometimes.
came
Always-
down a tick in 2020 during the
Right.
pandemic season, and it hasn't gone back up.
But
He's
but
learned
that's
how
where
to
he's
pitch
at.
with
But
it.
no, but he can jump up to 96.
But
He
he
can,
has
yes.
it.
He wasn't able to the
But
last
his
couple years.
spin rate on that slider is really good.
Right.
So, okay, so he's figured
and his
that
curveball's
out.
always been filthy.
His curveball's filthy. So he's got plus pitches right now,
Yeah.
and Bieber is pitching without plus pitches.
Anywhere.
Period.
None of his pitches.
Bieber used to be able
Period.
to rely on his fastball up in the zone, and he can't do it.
Yes.
Well, he'd throw the fastball up in the zone, and then he'd throw the curveball super high, and it
Yeah.
would drop down in the dirt, and
Yes.
it wouldn't. But his curveball doesn't bite
he
at
can't
all.
bite
I
like
don't
that
know. I
anymore.
don't know what's
He
going on.
hangs that curveball
I've
and
said
it gets
it.
hit for home runs now.
But I don't think he hangs it. I think he's throwing it the same. It doesn't.
it
It
doesn't
doesn't,
move.
It
do
isn't
it
biting.
because
It
he doesn't have
bite.
because he doesn't have the same spin
Right,
rate.
yeah.
It's a fact.
I've said it before. I think I've said it on the show before, but I say it all the time. I think the best and worst thing that ever happened to Shane Bieber is Driveline. I
don't know.
honestly believe that. I think when he first went to Driveline, he increased his velocity, he found plus pitches, and he became a Cy Young winner. And then he went back to Driveline, developed 2 new pitches.
I don't know if he's been back to drive.
He has.
Has he?
He's been every offseason.
well-
he
well,
developed 2
it didn't work
brand new
It didn't help his
pitches,
velocity.
and since then he hasn't been the same.
Well, whatever's going on, his velocity is not the same.
He thought he needed to add pitches to his arsenal, and it's taken away from everything else he's done.
No, your spin rate doesn't go down because you added a pitch.
Dude, I'm telling you,
No.
since he
Come
has
on.
added 2
How does that
pitches
make
over the
sense?
course of the
How
last
does that
3
make
years,
sense?
I'm telling you,
How does a changeup make sense that your spin rate's down on your slider?
because he spent so much time working on the new
No,
pitches and
no.
didn't go back to
He
what
throws-
was working.
He throws 7,000 pitches a week. And
I'm telling
his
you.
spin rate's down and his velocity's down all season.
I'm telling you,
No.
it's because he hasn't put the time into
No, I'm
his
telling you.
his established arsenal.
He's
I'm telling
hurt.
you right now.
He's hurt. He needs time. Something's going on, and because no one who pitches at hit the level he pitched at drops off like that, and people aren't concerned. But evidently
Yeah,
in Cleveland, we're not concerned.
Somehow,
about Bieber,
no one even
spin
says
rate
a
and
word.
velocity being down.
Somehow he went from a strikeout pitcher to like
He's like a fly ball
Zach
pitcher.
Plesac.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Zach Plesac's spin rate is higher than Shane Bieber's. right now.
Probably. Yeah.
And
I'm
Zach
just telling
Plesac
you.
added a new pitch too.
I'm just
Zach
telling you.
Plesac's pitching better than Shane Bieber
Yes.
this year.
Zach
There is
Plesac has
no-
trade value.
Yeah.
There's no way, there's absolutely no chance that Bieber doesn't have some kind of injury or something is wrong. I mean, and for the Guardians to just keep putting him out there, when it's not getting better, like someone needs like grab someone and shake them and scream at him and say, what is happening with Shane Bieber?
Yeah, somebody
like, I want
figure this
answers.
out.
Like the owners need to go down and say, I want answers right
All right.
now. What's happening with Shane Bieber?
I have an idea for Shane Bieber's replacement. Hear me out. Ready? I got.
Oh God.
I don't even know what to say about this. Go
You
ahead.
know what
I'm
it is.
nervous.
Go ahead.
So I'm thinking, right? Let's have Brian Shaw open.
No.
Let's
right.
give him some
All
starts
right, folks.
as
I think
well
that's
as
enough for the show
appearances.
today. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Okay.
I'm done talking about Brian Shaw. Jeez.
Okay, listen.
Tito needs
Here's-
fired. I'm done.
Here's the deal. So,
Well, real quick, hang on, real quick. Before we get into all this, I just have to touch on something. One thing before we move on. Miles Straw has started to turn this around. Okay, I just have to read off some numbers before
But he's
we can
turning
get into
around,
everything
and
else.
now there's no spot for him at the top of the
No, but
lineup.
listen, he is perfect fit for the 9th spot. He is
Yeah.
the perfect fit. In the month of July, he has only struck out twice. He has 2 strikeouts in the month of July.
who?
He's on base 339.
Who are we talking about?
That's
Miles Straw.
That's not crazy.
And
but,
but it's a huge turnaround.
yeah,
For a whole month, I'm talking.
339 is not a great for a month though.
But it's creeping back up to where it should be. He should always be around 400.
Yeah.
So he's getting back there. And his batting average with balls in play is 275, which means he's putting the ball in play and hitting the ball right at
And
everybody.
he's still getting a little unlucky.
So he's getting unlucky. So that has a chance to turn around here, even more so in August.
Yeah, I love the.
I personally,
I don't know if he's getting extremely.
I think-
unlucky. That's pretty.
no,
close, though.
it's pretty close to his average, but still, he's
But-
putting the ball in play. He's not striking out at
I
all.
will say this: before the All-Star break, we played Detroit. Okay, and Straw was really struggling,
couldn't even touch a ball.
and he actually the reporters were saying he actually talked to Cabrera before the game. Went over and was talking to Miguel Cabrera before the game, and Miguel Cabrera told him. He asked him. He said, "Listen, I'm really struggling right now. Do you have any advice, like when you've gone through periods of time struggling?" Miguel Cabrera said, "Listen, there's no way to get out of a slump unless you hit your way out. You need to just stop thinking about getting on base. Stop thinking about hit until you're out of your slump. Just hit."
Yeah.
And after that, Straw became more aggressive.
Check it
Started
out.
swinging at first pitches. Started swinging at
Month of
second
July.
pitches. He wouldn't swing at a pitch until he had 2 strikes on him
Yep.
for his whole career. This month,
He is
he
swinging at first
decided,
pitch.
if you throw a strike, I'm going to swing at it. And that changed his season. Like, literally changed his season. He was on his way to going to the bench.
That's the
Yeah.
truth.
And now he's actually hitting a little. Now, don't get me wrong. Pitchers started to pick up on the fact that, okay, he's being super. Because listen, these teams follow the data.
Mhm.
If you come out and go through a 10-game stretch where you hit the first pitch you saw for a base hit 10 out of the last 20 at-bats, they stop throwing you a strike on the first pitch. Okay? So that's what they've done.
But
So they made
then
an
that
adjustment.
puts him back into his comfort zone.
Yes.
So he'll be fine.
So he needs to just be patient now. Now that he knows he can hit a strike. Be patient, find a strike, and hit it. But that's kind of the story about what happened.
2
Miguel
strikeouts.
Cabrera
Two-
actually helped one of our guys.
2 strikeouts in an entire month is huge for Miles Straw right now.
No doubt.
That is enormous, and that helps the team a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
If he's putting the ball in play, only good things can happen.
Yeah, with him on base, the odds of him scoring once he gets on base are pretty good.
Especially
He's like
from the
Kwan.
9th spot.
Him and Kwan both get on base and score some runs.
If he turns over the order, he's probably getting driven in.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Anyway, I just had to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Quan,
Speaking of
Ooh,
Quan,
we said his average would, after it was at 400 to start the year, it would even out a little bit. But we said, hey, it'll probably end up close to 300. And what is it now, like 291?
Yeah, I mean, we
291,
got a bunch of guys. We got
Yeah.
a bunch of guys that are right in that
He
400
is-
range or
he's-
300 range.
he's that type of hitter, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew.
Yeah.
We saw the way when he started to struggle, how he was trying to make the adjustment.
Mm-hmm. Going out, he was, and it's not
I
like
mean, you got Jimenez, Rosario, Kwan, and Jose Ramirez. All 4 of them flirt with 300.
Mm.
All 4 of them.
That's
But-
huge. That's
but his
enormous.
struggle-
For the youngest team in baseball, that's enormous.
His struggle wasn't like, oh, he's striking out or oh, he's getting tricked. His struggle was they were pitching him away and he
Right.
couldn't drive the ball to left
Right.
field.
Yeah.
And he's really worked on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you guys have anything else to add about the month of July, that's all I've got.
I don't really want to remember the month besides the All-Star stuff.
I'm ready to move on. Jose went 2 for 2 in the All-Star game. Jimenez had a beautiful play. Clase closed it out
insane.
on 10 pitches.
Better than Mariano Rivera.
Really, really
By
like-
a lot.
like-
Not even close.
made a name for himself nationally
What?
in that game.
It's not even close. If Mariano Rivera had a 100-mile-an-hour cutter, I'd say otherwise. Mariano Rivera couldn't strike out a side on 10 pitches. I think that's a fact.
I mean, he was more of a ground ball guy.
Exactly.
But
Someone would make contact. He might break 3 bats in a row. He can strike out 3 hitters in a row.
Yeah.
Then in that case, I agree with you.
Exactly. More
100%.
dominant.
More dominant. So yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about some trade targets here. I have a full list of trade targets. There it is. That's it. That's my list. How'd you know? That's the only name on my list. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's talk Juan Soto just for a second. We'll touch on that because
do we think
There's a
as
lot that I
group
would
here,
do.
Do we think we should be pursuing Juan Soto?
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
No.
Yes.
What?
no.
I think you're just being
What is
contrarian.
wrong with you?
You're just being a contrarian.
No, listen.
Wrong.
I'll explain why. I was fully on board knowing that we were one of the only teams that could give them a perfect mix of major league talent and minor league talent.
Yeah.
I was fully on board until I came across Christian Walker. Okay. I will talk to you about that in a
This
second.
isn't
I think
moving
I
the
talked to you
needle.
about this. It's not going to move the needle. It's definitely not going to move the
All
needle.
right.
But it makes sense
So
in my mind.
You
So-
want us to trade
No, we'll talk about it in a minute. We'll talk about it in a
for
minute.
Christian Walker?
No, we're
Does
talking about Juan Soto
anyone
now.
out there know who Christian Walker is?
We're talking
No.
about Juan Soto now.
Juan Soto is a future Hall of Famer.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
At 23 years old, you could
Yeah,
say he's a
23 years
future
old,
Hall of
future
Famer.
I
Right.
completely
It's like
agree.
Mike Trout.
Yes.
On base of like 430 for his career.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we would deplete our entire farm system for that.
We would
Yes, we would.
deplete most of it.
We wouldn't.
Yes, we would.
Who are we? Okay.
But
Who would
no
we
one
have
no one's going to
deplete?
be better than Juan Soto.
Say a name, and you're probably gonna have to send him.
No way.
Name any of our top prospects.
They're not going to get that much for
We
Juan
could-
Soto.
we
No
could
one's
get away-
giving up that
We're-
kind of players for Juan Soto.
Okay. First of all, realistically, mainly I say no because I know it's not going to happen.
This
If
isn't-
I thought there was a
you're
chance,
thinking- you're
I'm on
thinking
board.
Of NBA trades.
No,
You're thinking
We
of an
could-
NBA
no.
trade.
We could get
This
away
is
with
not
no.
baseball trades don't go that way.
If we
No one gets your whole farm system for any player.
Yeah, that's never happened.
It's never happened.
I'm telling you right now.
it
Just
doesn't
wait.
happen.
But
Just wait.
Baseball
You'll see.
value is way different than NBA value.
You'll see.
You're
But-
thinking of it like an NBA contract.
You'll see.
But if we got rid of everyone but Espino, we win the trade. If
They're-
we keep Espino from that trade, we win the trade.
They would.
We could
want,
give them literally
They
every
want
single player.
Espino and Valera.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
We could
They
no
wouldn't
because
even-
we have the
Those-
most top 100
Those are the
prospects.
names that they want.
Nobody
We
would
have the
take
most
them.
top 100 prospects.
They
No-
want.
No,
They-
they know.
it is
we know
known.
that's not going to happen.
It's known that they want your 4 top prospects.
No.
That's a starting point.
That's why Juan Soto's
No,
going to
they want
finish
4
the season
of your
with
10
the
top
Nationals.
prospects.
There you go.
Juan Soto will, if that's the case, if that's what the Nationals are asking for,
I don't
Juan
think-
Soto finishes the season with the Nationals.
And I think he does because they still have another full year to
There
move
is
him.
no player ever
They
been
have 2
moved.
full years to move.
That's what I'm saying.
No
There-
player.
He will be moved next trade deadline.
There has been no player ever been
I
moved.
don't know, that's not what
in-
Jeff Passan says or however you
Listen,
pronounce it. That's not what
Paisan.
Jeff Paisan says.
Paisan.
No player has ever been moved in baseball for your top 4 prospect. Never. It has never happened. For
How many Hall of
any
Famers
player.
have been traded before their prime?
Never.
Before
knowing
their prime?
knowing that they're going to be Hall of Famers.
Alex Rodriguez.
That's it.
Bunches. Of
And that was
players.
in the 90s.
And he was the best player in baseball.
What was
at the time
the-
and did not
That was in the
draw
90s.
Barry
the
Bonds?
top 4 prospects from
He wasn't
from
traded
the
in
team
it.
he traded.
I thought he was traded to the Giants. No, he might have just
Yeah,
signed.
I
there.
don't think he. No, I think he left.
No,
Pittsburgh.
listen. Big contracts have
Griffey,
been traded.
kind of.
No one. Big players have been traded. There's no one.
I'm
that
telling you, this
draws
is
your top 4.
this is the biggest
players.
trade of all time.
No.
It is, 100%. This is Albert Pujols getting traded before he put up Albert Pujols' ungodly
No,
numbers.
if Mike Trout got traded this year, that would be the biggest trade of all time. Juan Soto.
Is the biggest trade of all time.
No, I think if Ohtani gets traded this year, it'll be the biggest trade.
Juan Soto is going to go on over the next 10 years and be the best player in baseball.
We just named 2 guys that if you traded them right now would be bigger trades.
Because they're already established. They've
So-
been in the league for 10
right,
years.
So that's what I'm saying. They're not. This is.
Well,
I'm
Ohtani's
saying
not been in the league for 10 years.
Juan Soto-
Ohtani's been a superstar for 10 years.
Yeah.
Juan Soto, as good as he is,
He's been around for 4 years.
right? As good as
Three-
he is,
Well, he has a
years.
ring already.
you got
Right.
Yeah.
And he's put up ungodly numbers. This is the biggest trade of all time. I'm telling you right now.
I don't think.
That's
There's
why I
trades
don't
that
think
can
he's going to
happen
get
that are
moved.
bigger. I think he has to get moved.
I
I
don't
think he's
think he
going to
does.
force himself to get moved.
I don't think so.
He'll do
They-
like an
they're
NBA
not in a
thing
hurry.
and sit out.
It will
They're not in a hurry.
be.
They're not going to win anything this year.
No,
They know that, but
So no
they
matter what.
need fans to attend games.
they don't.
They'll
need-
still
If Juan Soto sits out, the fans will not
Fans
come.
don't attend games anyway in
Listen,
Washington.
man,
Eh.
they're not trading them if the price is your top 4 prospects to any team. It is not happening.
It'll happen.
Who's going to give up their top?
The
4
Dodgers.
prospects? No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
The Yankees
The-
will do
you
it.
know
the
why?
Yankees would do it.
You know why? Because the Dodgers.
They won't do it this year.
The Dodgers' top 4 prospects aren't that good
well,
anymore.
they've
They
been
traded
depleted.
them all away.
They've been depleted.
They're not
But
that good.
they also have a little bit of major league talent that they can get rid
The
of.
Yankees would give up Volpe and Dominguez
100%.
for Juan Soto
Yes, they would.
because
But
they
they
know
would-
Aaron Judge is going.
No. We're talking about giving up your top 4 prospects, not just
They
Dominguez.
do the top 4.
They
not
would.
just Dominguez.
They
There's
do
no
the
way.
top 4.
Sure they
No
would.
way.
You
Judge
put,
is leaving.
dude, if you put Soto on this Yankees team,
Judge is
they run away
clearly-
with the World Series.
Judge is clearly leaving.
Yes, which is why
And-
they would make this move to
No,
replace him. I'm telling
To
you right
sign
now.
him.
for your top 4 prospects.
Because Dominguez
yes,
is going to be
Top 4
better than Juan Soto.
They bring him in. They bring in Soto. They send everybody away. They win now. Let Aaron Judge walk, and then they sign Soto for a ridiculous amount of money, and he's their franchise guy.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. But yeah,
I don't think it's going to happen this year, though. That's what I'm saying.
top 4 prospect. Then that's a steep price.
And the
I
only
know why the
the
Nationals
only
are
team
asking
that
for
could
it.
make that could make that trade is Cleveland
No,
without hurting the farm system.
we can't. We can't give up our top 4 prospects.
I bet
do it.
we
We're a
could.
small market
No,
team.
but we need
we
to keep Espino.
need to
so
keep
we could
Espino. That's the thing.
and Valera.
So give up
Espino more so
give
than
up
Valera.
4 of your top 5 prospects.
Because when Juan Soto becomes a free agent, he's
And
not
then
signing
throw
with
in-
anybody.
Who's our top 5 prospect?
Our top 5 is
Espino, Valera.
Espino, Valera, Arias, Palacios, and I don't know if Tyler Freeman's 5th.
Well, he's got to be.
It would
up
be
there.
him or the good Logan Allen.
It's got to be Logan Allen then. They value pitchers higher than.
No,
position
because Logan
players.
Allen just entered the top 100, so I don't know where he is on it.
All right,
But
listen.
that's pretty much kind of what it is.
Nolan Jones hopped back in. He's number 99. You see that?
He's not in it. is he?
Yeah. He's
You
number
sure?
he's number 99. They just showed it on the MLB Network the other day. How about that? He just hopped right back in.
Interesting.
I don't know if he's in it.
That's what they were showing. They showed our top 8 prospects. He
Okay,
was
listen.
number 99 on the top 100.
Listen,
That's what they said.
Here's our top 5.
I haven't checked it.
Here's our top 5 prospects.
Yeah.
Right. Espino,
Got to keep him.
Valera, Gavin.
Not
Williams,
as good as Juan
Gavin
Soto.
Williams.
Not as good as Juan Soto.
All right. Gavin Williams, Gabriel Arias,
Also
and
not as good as Juan
and
Soto.
Rocio.
Also not going to be as good as Juan Soto.
So, who else? Who's after that?
Freeman.
Well, then you got Freeman,
Freeman.
and you got a
Logan
handful,
Allen.
a handful of other pitchers. Yeah,
I
you
see.
gotta-
To me,
Bo
I
Naylor.
don't think you can get it done
Oh,
without
Bo
sending
Naylor's in the
both.
top 100.
He is in the top 100.
But we can't get rid of him either.
No,
we need
he's
the
about to
catcher
come
depth.
up. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
But he's not in our top 5 prospects.
who could afford to give up your top 4 prospects
He's not in there.
for a player that might not stay?
Well, if you got.
But
the
you
money,
get 3 years of him.
Yeah. If you
Or
got,
you get 2.5 years. at
If
this
you
point.
got the money to pay him, it doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
All right, no, all right.
If
I don't think anyone's going.
If
for
we
it.
were to give Juan Soto $40 million a year, we would still be under 100 payroll.
yeah, but he wants more than that.
I don't think he wants
like
more than 40 million a
45.
year. No, because Scherzer's at 42.
He wants more than Scherzer. He wants to be the highest.
No, he
paid
wants
player.
close to Scherzer. The Nationals weren't even giving him close to Scherzer. He wasn't getting 40
I mean,
million
we
with the
could give
Nationals.
him. 2 years, 80 mil.
Get 2 years added on.
You know what I mean?
Get
Like,
4.5 years of Juan Soto.
that's the only thing that I could think of.
That
But
would be
still,
great.
you would have to lose Espino to do it. So I'm not in on that.
No, I don't think we'd have to lose. I think all the teams know that they can just sit this out. And
They don't
they're
have
gonna be forced
pitching.
to trade Juan Soto eventually.
Yeah, but that's a long time off. This is kind of like when teams started talking about Lindor.
No, but we
Like,
give them.
Everyone's like, "Oh, they're gonna trade him," and then 3 years later, we finally
We
traded
give
him.
them Gavin Williams and Logan Allen,
Sure,
which is our 2 and 3 pitching prospects,
probably.
I don't know.
and we'd give them Valera.
We would offer them that, but they would want Espino.
And
he's a different breed.
And then they also want MLB ready players. We'd give them any of our MLB ready players
I got to tell you, I like the look of our team if we keep a lot of those guys.
except Andreas.
Because if we keep those guys and they play at the level we think they can, then you're talking we have a chance to win for quite a few years. Because
Right.
they'll all be under their rookie contracts.
as
We got a shot to
opposed,
win a
yes,
long time.
as opposed
make
to
a trade for
2-3
Juan
years,
Soto,
your window's open and
You
shut.
lose all those players that could come up and help you, and Juan Soto leaves anyway.
Right.
So, listen, I would trade for Juan Soto if I wanted to go after a World Series right now, but you have to do it realistically and not give up your top.
And our
prospect.
pitching staff hasn't exactly been major World Series worthy.
Well, that's why we give them Shane Bieber in the trade also.
And then call up Logan Allen.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
or
Now,
Or
Battenfield.
Xavier Curry.
Or yeah, Xavier Curry.
now Yohansky Noel,
John Kenzie, you mean?
Yeah,
John Kenzie Noel actually gets
they could be interested.
that could be an interesting.
No,
trade
but
target for
He's a ways off though.
And he's hitting like 220.
I don't know.
I
if
know
care
he's
about that.
leading the free world in
But
home
if you're,
runs.
but if you're trading Juan Soto, you're not looking to go to the World Series.
No, that's true.
So you can afford to take guys who can help you in the future, and he could be one of those guys.
But he could just be nothing also.
We don't
That's the hard part. That's the hard part. That's
bombs, I'll tell you
why.
that.
He
That's
does
why.
hit nuke.
And that's exactly why Washington wants your top 4 prospect, because those are the guys
I mean, there was
that are
another
supposed
guy.
to be the
There was
real
another
deal.
guy in the minor leagues, I think, for Toronto. So hit bombs.
And-
Time he steps to the plate. Struck out a bunch and hit a bunch of bombs.
Yeah, but he also hit for a
What was
high
his-
average.
What was his name?
He also hit for a high average.
Yeah.
His average was definitely not 202, which is what John Kenzie's is right now.
Anyway, so that's enough Soto talk for me. So you'd be in.
Yes.
You'd be in.
For the right price, yes.
I would be out because I don't think you're going to get the right price. But that's beside the point because it's not going to happen. Let's just be real. They have the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Cardinals, and the Padres.
We
in on
should
it.
go trade for Seiya Suzuki.
I agree.
Free him
And-
from
and
the
Free
by the
him
way-
from the hell that
And
he's
by the
in.
way, Noel is hitting 220
Oh, he's killing it.
with 27 home runs.
Oh, he's going crazy.
With 27 home
27
runs.
home runs is insane.
That's a
but
lot.
220. I'll tell you
That's
right now.
freakish.
Listen, man.
It's better
Listen,
than Framil.
If Franmil was hitting 220 with 27 home runs right now,
I'm
be
okay.
all right.
Yeah.
we'd be good.
Yeah.
We'd be all right.
Just letting you know what's going on
We'd
there.
probably be winning the division right now.
So let's
Yeah.
not poo-poo on Noel.
Anyway.
But he's also doing it against single A and double A pitching.
And he's like 18.
He hasn't hit triple
He'll
A.
be-
And he's like 18
No,
years
he's
old.
21 now.
Once Valera gets moved to AAA, which should be literally this week or next week,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that they're going to bring John Kenzie up to AA.
No, he's already in double A.
Yeah, he's
I
there
thought he
now.
was in
that
high
lineup
A.
is sick.
He's been in double A.
Oh, that
That's
lineup's
disgusting.
sick.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
he's seeing a lot of fastballs.
well,
that lineup's
he's
he's still got a year and a half in AA.
he won't be in triple A this year.
So he's
Yeah,
super young,
if he ever learns how to take a pitch,
which he cannot.
He can't
He-
do
He
it.
cannot. That
he
dude
could
cannot walk
be
to save his life.
absolutely dangerous. Dangerous.
He could be.
Because
Absolutely.
that dude, when he swings lumber, he's looking to kill something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that dude
So-
swings the bat.
Anyway, I have a list that I have developed of trade targets. They're all realistic trade targets.
Kevin Durant.
Number 1.
Oh,
Listen,
wait. No, my bad.
Kevin
So-
Durant.
That's the NBA.
No, we
Again,
want
you guys
Kyrie.
are stuck in NBA contract.
Kyrie Irving reuniting.
No,
I like
no.
Buddy
with
Hield a
Cleveland.
lot. Buddy Hield shoots the
Listen,
ball.
Kyrie is going to reunite
Listen,
with Cleveland and
He's afraid to come
hit
back to
30
Cleveland.
home runs.
Buddy Hield is either 30 years old or 35 years old. Nobody
No,
knows.
listen,
He's one of them.
Kyrie's afraid to come back to Cleveland because the earth is flat. And if he gets to the edge of Cleveland, he could fall.
He
That's
could fall
true.
off the
That
edge.
is true. That is the end of the earth.
He's afraid of Cleveland.
I'll tell you what. If he keeps not showing up to anything and not getting vaccinated, he'll definitely fall off the earth.
He's gonna find the edge of the
Just
earth
in a
real
different
quick.
way.
Anyway, so how do you guys feel about Mike Trout?
Well, he's a good
Completely-
he's a good young player.
Completely realistic.
Shohei Ohtani fixes our DH and pitcher
He's a
role.
good young player. I like that Trout kid. He seems
There's
to
a guy-
seems to have a good head on his shoulders and a good knack for hitting the
Listen,
ball.
There's
There's
a
this
guy-
20-year-old in Japan, right?
Like,
There's 101.
there's
We just have
this-
to trade with the Chibo Latte Marines for him.
Oh gosh, that's in a couple years.
All
We're
right,
gonna get to
all
that.
right, come on. Get to
So,
realistic trade targets.
There is
Let's
a
go.
guy by the name of Jacob DeGrom.
God. All
that-
right, let's get
okay,
to it.
all right. No, but for real. So I have. Let's
He,
start
wasn't he hurt this year?
something
seems
like
to be-
that. I don't
There's
know.
this kid in
He's okay.
Philadelphia. He's trapped as a DH.
His strikeouts seem to be down this year.
Anyway,
Maybe because he is injured.
so let's start. Let's start in the obvious spot.
Michael
First
Brantley.
base. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
First base. Okay. First base for us right now is question mark, and Josh Naylor.
Owen Miller cannot play.
Owen Miller is a terrible first
And
baseman.
he's not hitting good
Well,
enough.
let's
not
face
hitting.
it.
You can't
for him to
justify.
play first
We
base.
don't have a great first baseman.
Josh Naylor
Let's face it, we just
Josh
don't.
Naylor
Josh Naylor's not a great
struggles at first base,
All right.
but he's the best.
Hear me
option
out. We have a stopgap, though, for first base. What if we move Ernie Clement to that corner?
I think Ernie Clement should play every position
Yep.
and pitch.
And
Hey,
play
listen, man.
subpar.
Hey,
and
for a
also
minute-
pitch and
For
also
a
not
minute,
hit.
we had
He's
a
like the
couple
bad
catchers.
Shohei Ohtani if you think about it.
For a minute, we had a couple catchers with some questionable head injuries. Clement almost caught. He almost caught a game this year.
And he could catch. That's if you
He
think
is-
about it, he's better than
he
Shohei
is better
Ohtani.
than
Ohtani
Shohei
hasn't
Ohtani.
caught.
Ohtani can't catch.
Ernie Clement is better than Shohei Ohtani by default because he
No,
plays
it's-
more positions.
Okay,
If you think
we're
about
gonna.
it.
If
I'm
you
gonna
don't
throw up
think
a
about it, it
disclaimer
makes
right here.
sense.
The views being expressed are not that of the show at this time.
Anyway, okay, so let's start at first base because that is the spot where if you
We could easily make a move.
yes, if you do move on from Franmil, then that moves Naylor to a full-time DH spot, which is exactly where he should be, just like we said, and that leaves first base wide open. So, the obvious route to go for first base is Josh Bell, C.J. Cron, Rhys Hoskins. Those are the three guys that are going to give you the offense/defense. Those are the three guys that are probably going to be on the move
All right.
in the next week.
Would you trade your top 5 prospects for Juan Soto package with Josh Bell?
I would trade my top 10 prospects for Josh Bell and Juan Soto.
Josh Bell has gone through periods of time.
He's a lot
Where
like the
He has
Giants
not
where
been the best hitter in the league.
they have the
But he's
even
not.
year
He's
syndrome.
not a flash in the pan, though.
I
He's,
understood.
He hits
This is
30
your
bombs a year.
This is your
He's not-
Pirates season ticket
He's
bias.
not exactly a
It is.
career.
You're right. I like Josh Bell.
He's not exactly a career 290 hitter with 35 home runs every year.
No, but he
Okay,
he
he's
can.
not that.
He
He's
could
a
hit you
switch
30
hitter.
home runs a year. He's a
Could
switch
he
hitter.
hit-
He's
You
very
don't
good.
have
Could
to
he hit
platoon him.
35 home runs? Sure.
You don't have to platoon him. He gets on base at a high clip.
Well, yeah.
He hits home runs, and he plays a good defense.
Our problem isn't guys with decent on base.
Well, yeah, it kind of is.
Well,
Franmil does
really?
not get on base.
Not really.
This would be
Not really.
whoever.
We're not that bad getting on base.
but
We
anyway,
can't score runs. We only
regardless.
got 2 guys who can drive people in.
regardless,
That's-
these are the obvious names.
Yeah.
These are the names that you're going to see over the next week that are probably going to be on the move.
Trey
to-
Mancini on there.
well, I don't think Trey Mancini because they're only 2 games out.
They're getting rid of him.
They're 2.5 games
He
out of the wild
announced
card.
today he's playing this homestand as if he's getting traded this week.
Well, he should be playing every game under protest because he did not win Comeback Athlete of the Year at the ESPYs.
Who won?
Clay Thompson,
Clay Thompson,
The guy-
notorious for beating
the
cancer.
guy who had
Wait a
cancer.
minute.
Wait. Hang on. The guy who had cancer came back, made the All-Star game, and then had a huge season. Did not win.
Wait a minute.
Clay Thompson
Wait
won.
a minute. So the guy who won the NBA championship
Yes.
won comeback player of the year over the guy
Over the
who
guy
plays on
who-
the worst team in baseball.
And
oh,
And
came
had
back
cancer.
from cancer and was an All-Star.
I get it.
Come
man.
on.
I
Clay
get
Thompson
it.
averaged 8 points in the
Cookie-
Yeah, Clay
finals.
Thompson didn't even play good.
That was a joke.
What
Cookie
did he
came
come back from?
Cookie came back
Please.
from cancer and pitched pretty well too. But
He won comeback.
He won
player of the
Comeback
year.
Player of the Year.
yeah, I'm just saying.
it's got to be by default. You got it. You give the guy with
If
cancer
they have
comeback player
cancer,
of the
you
year.
give them comeback player of the year. That's a rule.
I mean, come on.
I don't know.
Show a little class.
NBA title versus. worst
He
team
didn't
in
win that NBA
baseball.
title anyways.
He was trash.
If you put him
He
on
played
the
like 1 out of every 5 games halfway
if you put him
decent.
on the Orioles equivalent in the NBA, he'd be a horrible basketball
If you,
I
player.
will say
Here, I
this.
will say this. If you put Trace Thompson, Clay's brother, on the Orioles, he sucks.
And if you
I
put
will
Trey
say this.
Mancini on the Golden State equivalent in the MLB, he'd be great.
he probably is great.
If you held up 2 pictures
Yeah.
of Trey Mancini and Clay Thompson,
I wouldn't know who either
listen,
of them are.
neither one of them
you said Keenan
dressed-
Thompson,
dressed in their team uniform.
You said Trace Thompson,
Trace-
Guardians legend?
Guardians legend.
Listen to me. Listen to me. If you held up the picture of the 2 guys, Mancini and Clay,
Mhm.
right? You held up the pictures of those
Well,
2 guys.
I'm gonna know.
without their uniforms on.
I'm gonna know Trey Mancini by default because I already know what Clay
you
Thompson
do
looks
not
like.
know- you do not.
I
know
can
who
eliminate
Trey
him.
Mancini is.
Listen, I know that's Clay Thompson.
You
so
look at
that
the-
must be.
You look at
Trey
the pictures.
Mancini.
You look at the pictures and you go, "Oh, it's Clay Thompson," and that's the guy who works at the grocery store.
No, you say, "Oh, that's Clay Thompson," and give me the first letter, and I'll know it.
No, you wouldn't.
That's
You
what I
wouldn't.
would say.
And then you would say, "Well, he's a professional baseball player," and he goes, "I don't think I've ever seen that guy." Oh, he plays for the Baltimore Orioles. I know I've
Definitely
never seen
have
that guy.
I've never seen them play.
So
Matter of fact, when the Guardians played them, I don't even think I was watching that
is it
game,
a
but I don't think I saw the
Is it
Baltimore
a
Orioles.
surprise to me that he did not win the comeback player of the year? Because if no one
Is
knows,
that Guardians-
They're like,
if
they're like,
nobody
wait a minute.
knows you even play for a team that
Trey
you had to come
Mancini.
back to,
Is that Guardians legend Adam Pluko
yeah, yeah.
on the Orioles?
Is he still there?
I don't know. That's just who I knew played
Shout
on
out
the
Adam
Orioles.
Pluko.
Right now, he should be their ace.
Shout out Adam
No,
Pluko.
they have the same record that we have. Yes.
Yeah. That's
No
how.
way.
Yes.
Yeah, and
That's
you
how
said,
much I don't know about Baltimore.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Orioles.
Well, no one watches Baltimore.
No one
Are you
watches
kidding me?
Baltimore.
Rushman came and changed the whole franchise.
Rushman is Juan Soto,
I
basically.
mean, literally since Cal
The
Ripken
catcher Juan
left,
Soto. He's basically Ernie Clement.
since Cal Ripken left, they haven't been the same.
you know, they could really use him this year.
They could have really used Cal. He
I
should
heard.
come out of
I heard he
retirement.
was thinking about moving back to short.
No, bring Billy back.
Well, if
Oh,
Bring Billy back.
no.
if he
Second
came out of
base.
retirement, would that
He
would
does
they
such
keep
a great
counting for
job.
his streak?
He does such a great job instructing on MLB.
by great job, you mean?
Billy Ripken.
Ugh,
They need Ahmed.
my goodness. Anyway,
Give
okay.
us Adley Rushman. We'll
Moving
give you
on.
Ahmed. You can have a
All right, we're
shortstop.
done making fun of the Baltimore Orioles.
Moving on,
Because
So-
the next thing you know, we'll be losing. We're losing
Yeah.
a 3-game series. To the
We're
Baltimore
losing to
Orioles.
the wild card.
All
so
right.
don't worry.
I'm gonna throw out these 2 names. Okay, at first base, Garrett Cooper, Christian Walker. No one's ever heard of these guys.
I've heard of Christian Walker.
Right? Sure, you
He
have.
played for the Rockies for a little bit.
I mean, he played for New York too, I think.
Well, he's well traveled. That's good. Good
What
that
is
he's,
that?
Someone
it's good. That he's,
sawing.
it's good
What
that
is
he's well.
that?
It's good that he's well traveled.
Anyway, sorry, I'm hearing noises here. I don't know what's going on. They're coming to get us.
What is that?
So
Oh, is that the washing machine?
Garrett Cooper, no. Garrett Cooper plays for the Marlins, playing first base for the Marlins. Right now, he's sitting with a 773 OPS, 122 WRC plus.
That's not great though for
Okay.
first base.
No, but it's definite upgrade, and he plays really solid defense. He's got 5 defensive runs saved, which is good. Which is good for first base. That's we don't have anybody with 1.
At first.
We
yeah.
might have a guy with -1.
Yeah.
Owen Miller. But anyway, Christian Walker.
I mean, I think they're both in the negative. I
Christian
don't think
Walker.
that's
Christian Walker's very similar to Garrett Cooper. He's got a little bit more of a redeeming quality, because he's a little bit unlucky. So
What do
he
you
has.
There's
I'll-
what we need.
Let me explain.
That's what we need
No,
in the
listen.
locker room. A little bit more
Let me explain.
unlucky.
Let me explain. So he has 22 home runs on the year.
That's-
He's having a
that's good.
power surge, right?
Yeah, but he plays in a power stadium. He plays
Arizona.
For, yeah,
I mean, yeah,
ball flies.
yeah, but the ball flies in Progressive too.
Yeah, a little bit
Um,
in the summer
He's got a 767 OPS, which actually just dropped overnight.
happens.
111 WRC plus, which is still better than Owen Miller.
I
You know,
guess.
so it helps. This is where I like him a lot.
All right.
19% K rate. As far as
Yeah.
first basemen go, that is
Pretty low.
very minimal. That has to be the best among qualified first basemen. Matter of fact, no, it's not. It's second because have another name for you in a minute. He has 13 defensive runs saved on the year. 13
How do
at
you get
first
that
base,
at first?
which means he is phenomenal at first base, and he's having a power surge this year. Those two things alone lead me to believe that he could be the guy for the next couple of years.
All right, what do you mean he's getting unlucky though?
His 191 BABIP.
Oh my God, he's like the unluckiest
He is
in the
hitting
league.
the ball directly at everyone.
That means that's batting average with balls in play.
So every time he puts a ball in play, he's hitting 191.
That's like all
and
of his home
still,
runs.
He still has 767 OPS and 22 home runs. So
Usually BABIP evens out around like 270.
When he figures this out, when he stops hitting the ball directly at people,
then we should trade.
Because he does no.
Oh,
now we want to.
Yeah, because his value.
We want to do it now.
I gotcha.
We want to do it now because now's the time that he's about to turn it around. The second half is usually when people turn that around.
Yeah, okay.
Ahmed would hit 10 triples in Arizona.
He
10
would
triples
love
a day.
Arizona.
All right, let's.
He would love Arizona.
It's warm.
And okay,
Who's next?
The next name.
They have a roof. They don't get any rain delays.
The next name is somebody that none of us really like, in particular. But when you look at his
Cole Calhoun, I was gonna say.
We hate Cole Calhoun.
Yeah, I was just saying.
If Cole Calhoun ever gets picked up by Cleveland, I'm no longer rooting for the Guardians. I'm just telling you right now.
I was just saying last night. It is so gross to me that I'm not playing professional baseball and Cole Calhoun is.
I think we can all say, every listener, everybody can say that. Can say those exact same words.
I don't know if he's playing good or bad this year, so I can't say it.
It's Cole Calhoun. He's garbage, but everybody thinks he's good.
Yeah. He's like Brett
move on.
Gardner.
Okay, anyway. So, Wilmer Flores. Okay?
Well, that dude.
Wilmer Flores.
The guy who
cried when he got traded from New York.
Yeah.
He's sensitive.
But
He's
he didn't
very
get
sensitive.
traded.
He's a nice guy.
He wasted those tears.
Right, he did not get traded. So,
Crocodile
Wilmer Flores
tears.
now, he's been in the league for, I think, 11 years now. So he's
old.
He's a grizzled vet. He is playing a lot of first base for the Giants. He's playing first base, third base, a little bit of second base.
Yeah,
he's DHing a little
They
bit.
do
for
need
them.
to free up first base for Jock Peterson.
I don't know.
'Cause
Jock
he's fat.
Peterson keeps putting on pounds, and I'm not sure what's going on.
Every
there.
time we see him, he gets fatter.
he's
He's
trying
just going to
to
look
catch-
like
and
David
he-
Ortiz here.
He's trying to catch Josh Naylor.
He is. He looks like Josh
Jock
Naylor.
Peterson. The worst part about Jock Peterson gaining weight is he wears it in his neck. The dude.
Well, no.
From
you know how,
from the neck
Wow.
down, he looks like he's
he's-
about
you know-
220.
you
He's
know how,
the Jabba the Hutt of
Yeah.
all stars.
you know how David Ortiz was fat, but you never saw it like muffin top out?
Right.
Jock Peterson, like it comes out
It's
like
coming
it's
out.
coming down
From the neck
sides.
down, he looks like he's about 225, 230. From the
Josh-
neck up, he looks like he's about 390.
He's
Josh-
raking though.
he is.
Josh
I give it to
raking.
him.
Josh Peterson needs a protein shake and a sit-up.
There,
He needs more than
something.
one.
Anyway, so Wilmer Flores right now is sitting with a 118 WRC plus, and I just updated these numbers today. So unless he's playing right now, that's where he's sitting.
Oh, he's playing right now. He struck out 4 times.
He just struck out 4 times. He also is fairly unlucky.
We should definitely trade for
260
him while his trade value's down. He just struck out 4
Yeah,
times.
260 BABIP, which isn't bad, but it's still unlucky because
a little
he's
unlucky.
hitting about, I think they said 275, 280.
Yeah.
So he's still a little bit unlucky. He has a 16% K rate. That is the lowest among first basemen.
Well,
by
he's
far.
originally a middle infielder.
Right, exactly. So he has a 913 OPS in July, so he's starting to heat up. Now would be the chance to make that move for him. And he's super cheap. Like, you wouldn't have to give up a thing for him.
Mill just had a great at bat. Speaking of trade value.
Oh, they're playing.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
First pitch fouled off. Second pitch fastball down the middle for a strike. Third pitch fastball up. He swings at, strikes out on 3 pitches.
Oh, that kind of great at bat.
He's done
That's
that
good.
a few times in the last few weeks.
So Mill's lost. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. As a first baseman, Wilmer Flores has an OPS of 856, which is phenomenal because he's played most of his games at first base this year.
Yep.
With runners in scoring position, he is hitting 339 with a 1.088 OPS.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's with runners. That's for the full season, not just the month of July.
Yeah.
And with runners on, period, he's hitting 308 with a 975 OPS for the year.
And we can get runners on. We just can't.
That's what I'm
Get 'em
saying.
in.
You can throw him right in the 5 spot or the 6 spot, and
Yeah.
he'll thrive
Hey,
on this
listen,
team.
I'll throw him right in the 2-hole.
Side note.
I
listen,
don't think we're gonna do that.
No.
Side
Not without
note-
consent.
Side note to Fran Mel.
Or he'll
Fran
cry
Mel,
again.
Fran Mel, I know you're playing the game. You're listening to the show. I know you are. All right. So because
They
they're
have it
in the
on in the
game.
they
dugout.
always have us on in the dugout.
We
so
saw you
listen,
strike
Fran
out.
Mel, listen.
Hang on.
Here's the deal. The
When-
date is in. The date is in. Your second strike, after you get one strike, you don't swing at the second strike. So they just throw you fastballs down the middle. They've been doing it now for about a month. So from now on, if they get a strike on you, swing at the
the
next
bat.
pitch
But
because
he
he's
can't
throwing a
hit the
fastball
fastball
down the
down the
middle.
middle.
Swing the bat.
I'm just telling you, Fran. I'm trying to help you out. I know you're listening to dugout. Just go for it.
So I like Wilmer Flores personally, but I also really like Christian Walker. Those two are super cheap. You
I like
literally
anything
wouldn't
that's
have
cheap.
to. You wouldn't have to give up anything, and you're upgrading automatically on defense and offense. They're not exactly. They're not going to be your first baseman of the future,
Yeah, I'm not
They
sold
might
on
be the
your
first
trades.
baseman of the past.
but they could put us over the top.
But I don't know that they're an upgrade from anyone we could bring up.
No,
those
they are.
positions.
We don't have anyone to bring up at
Well,
first
we don't
base.
have. We have Bobby Bradley.
Yeah.
That's where we're at first base right now.
Well, Bobby Bradley looks good.
No.
He is the
sitting on the bench
greatest.
in AAA.
Yeah.
He's the greatest AAA
Listen,
pinch hitter I've ever
Poor
seen.
Bobby Bradley, man. Like mentally, he's like had a baseball stroke.
He had such a great call
like he had a
up and
baseball
everything.
stroke. Like he has no, like there's no way he forgot how to hit. Like he just completely forgot. Like his confidence is gone. Like he's done. Like he's completely
What was
done.
that?
This is the
That was
wire.
me.
You getting excited over here?
All right,
Bobby
go ahead.
Bradley.
So there's also a stat listed in high leverage situations. This is just the last.
Are we still
thing.
talking about the same
yeah,
guy?
Wilmer
Good
Flores.
Lord.
Yes,
We have
listen.
enough about Wilmer Flores.
Listen.
We get it.
Nobody
He
wants
plays
Wilmer
a good
Flores.
first base and he hits all right.
In high leverage situations.
Okay,
which means
we definitely
late
need
in
to
the
trade
game.
for the
Yeah.
average first
Listen,
baseman.
Which means
well, we don't have one. So we
late
might.
in the game, with runners on and more than one out or more. Okay, he is hitting 327 with a 1.139 OPS, and that's in 55 at bats.
So you're
In
saying
high leverage situations,
you're basically saying he's Barry Bonds when it matters.
when it matters, that dude is driving in a run,
Okay, now listen. I will ask you this. All right, you've seen
and
very.
he might cry.
You've been very
You don't know.
passionate. You've been very passionate about your list.
Yes,
So
I'm
my-
not done yet.
So my question to you is: does Flores help us win a World Series?
No.
So I'm going to take your silence.
Not this year.
I'm going to take your
Not this year,
deafening
but-
silence as a no.
Not this
Next
year,
year.
but maybe
so
next
don't
year.
make that trade.
But maybe next year.
Don't make that trade.
So what
But
do you
maybe
do then?
next year when
Yeah.
he's 40, he's going to help us
No,
win a World
he's-
Series.
When he's 34,
I'm just saying.
35.
If he wasn't going to
I
help
don't
us, if he wasn't going to help us win a World Series at 34, he's not going to help us win a World Series at 35. That's all I'm
Anyway,
saying.
anyway. Okay.
I love
Can
your
we-
I love your list.
Can we move on?
Good effort.
Yeah.
Jeez. Anyway, so let's move on to catchers. I got a few catchers' names on here
Who you
that
got?
you guys might have never heard
Who
of.
you got? There's
Wilson
only one.
Contreras.
Contreras is the only one.
I don't know who that is.
Wilson Contreras.
Is that the guy from the Braves?
That is
The Cubs.
no.
Who?
The
That's
Cubs.
his brother.
No, there's only one Contreras in the MLB. He's on the Braves.
The good one. Anyway, Wilson Contreras is the obvious choice for catcher because everyone in the league that has a chance to go to the playoffs wants him because he's one of the better hitting catchers in baseball, besides Alejandro Kirk, who is not available.
Welcome to the New York Mets, Wilson Contreras.
Actually, the Mets just traded for two catchers who are horrible.
The Mets.
They do
listen,
not hit.
The Mets have a lot of money. They do not have a lot of trade capital.
No,
Their minor league is
they
depleted.
can't.
Man.
You can't cut a check to make a trade.
They should think about
Doesn't
trading
happen.
some shortstop prospects for him.
They have a guy by the name of Francisco Lindor they could probably move.
They can't
Yeah.
move
for
him.
a good catcher.
They can't move him. He makes too much money. That contract
That's
is
true.
that
Too
is
much
the-
money, not enough
That is
production.
the most unmovable contract in Major League Baseball right now.
Yes. No. Yes.
Yes.
You're right. It
Yes,
is. Okay.
1,000%.
Next name. Moving on. Sean Murphy, the Cake Lord. Sean Murphy.
Oh God, you
Um,
never saw that video.
for those of you who don't know, Sean Murphy, he's hitching a wagon. Dude's got
He's a little thick.
dude's got a big old booty. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. So Sean Murphy. Those are the two obvious. Anyway, Those are the two obvious names at catcher. I like Sean Murphy. I think if we're going to make a move for him, that would be the one. Can I make a move for a catcher? That would be the one.
I don't like either of them. I like Bo Naylor way more.
I do too, but you can pair Bo Naylor with Sean Murphy, and it would be very, very similar to a Yan Gomes or Roberto Perez situation.
You can't pair him with him.
You can. You absolutely can. You have a right-handed bat, a left-handed bat.
His butt is too big. There's no room on the bench.
Anyway, I also like a guy by the name of Jonah Heim. We've gone way too far, way too long on this podcast.
We have to call it quits.
Wow, this
What's
is
next?
a lot. Jonah Heim is the last name on my list. Okay, he is not a proven commodity. He's got almost.
Let's definitely trade. You're selling him.
No,
you're selling.
I'm not trying to. I'm just saying these are the only.
That's a great selling point. He's not a hot commodity.
When I think about Jonah Heim, man, I just don't know.
All I can think is, wow.
Listen,
there's a World Series in the making.
Listen, all I'm saying is those are the only three catchers that are available that we could even remotely go after.
Yeah.
Okay. So odds are you're not going after a catcher if you're not going to go after Sean Murphy.
I would agree with that.
But Jonah Heim's young. He has less than 600 at bats for his career. He's right around 600, so he's almost exactly where he's going to be at for his league, his yearly averages.
We need a stopgap.
He's a switch hitter, 127 WRC plus, 803 OPS, 12 home runs.
That's good.
And he plays in a huge ballpark.
Yeah, stadiums are too big. Don't know what they were doing.
Bringing him to a place like Progressive, I think he would thrive, but that's beside the point.
He'd progress.
So to say, yes, he would progress.
He wouldn't Jacob.
Okay. All right, moving on. So yeah, that's my list of guys. I don't see anybody that puts us over the top. That's what we have available to us.
We don't pitcher. We probably need some sort of pitcher.
Like I said, I have a
next
hitting
show
bias.
We could review some pitchers.
I have a hitting bias, so I don't do much looking into pitchers. I really like. I'm a hit first kind of guy. So
you want Ohtani?
Yes. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to make a move? Do you think we're going to stand still? Do you think we're going to move people out of our clubhouse?
I don't think we're going to make an exciting move. We may shore up some stuff, but I don't think we're going to make a big move.
The most exciting trade the Guardians have made in the past decade is Jay Bruce. So I don't think we're going to make a big move.
And I don't think we're going to make a move, and I don't think we have to. I think we're going to start rotating young guys through and bringing up guys to get more chances, and I think Bo Naylor is going to be one of them. And, yeah, I do think that this year doesn't matter.
I think this year we ride
I'd be worried about calling up Bo Naylor, though.
I wouldn't. I don't think so.
Because you know what they say, Mo Naylor, mo problems.
Mo Naylor, mo problems. Okay. So, huge shout out to all you listeners out there. We don't know much, but we do know Cleveland sports, and we appreciate everyone who takes in our content. Be on the lookout for our trade deadline special, quote unquote, when we talk about stuff that's already happened.
The joke was that would be our second Naylor on the team, by the way.
Naylor? I don't even know her. Anyway. Sorry.
Can't say that.
That was too much.
What's happening for this show?
Anyway. So yeah, our trade deadline special will be when we come on here and prove to you why we should be Major League General Managers. Thank you to the people over at Fiverr for sponsoring this episode. Don't let your ideas fall by the wayside. Head over to Fiverr where you can find expert freelancers waiting to turn your vision into a reality. Just use the link in our description to get started now. Fiverr. Create something from nothing.
Fiverr, I hardly Naylor.
Okay. From all of us here at GDMU, have fun, stay safe, and as always, Cleveland, don't mess it up.
See ya.